In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Well, hello, Mason.
Hello, welcome back.
And a happy holidays to you.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Oh!
Yeah, I say Merry Christmas. I don't.
What about Happy Kwanzaa?
Yeah, Happy Kwanzaa too. I'll say them all.
Kwanzaa hasn't started yet. You're a
That's
racist.
true. I am a racist. That's
For you
called
not
me out
knowing
right
that,
here on the holiday
Kwanzaa
season.
starts December 26th, man.
The day after Christmas.
Yep.
You're absolutely
Same
right.
as Boxing Day for
Happy
Canada.
Hanukkah, because it is Hanukkah.
Is it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Hanukkah starts a different time every
no,
year.
isn't Hanukkah during this part of the time? Don't they do it for like 8 days?
Sometimes it ends up being after Christmas.
And I know. No, I think it's now.
No,
isn't it?
Hanukkah moves around. Hanukkah's different.
does?
It does.
Oh, well, what do I know?
It's
Not much.
no.
I'm-
We don't
I'm-
know. We're
I
to
mean,
be
I
fair,
like to review movies.
neither of us are
but
Jewish.
I am neither one. So I
So
don't know
the
much.
fact that we don't know a lot about Kwanzaa, blame it on our parents.
Right, of
Never
course.
taught us
They
either.
never taught us anything but Christmas.
Kwanzaa or Hanukkah. Yeah, we know one thing.
And that's Christmas.
We knew Christmas.
Merry
we know
Christmas.
presents.
And presents. yeah.
Presents.
Presents, yep.
And we also know one other thing. Christmas movies.
Christmas movies.
And what is the hottest debate during the Christmas time?
Is Die Hard a Christmas film?
Is it? I'm asking you.
100% absolutely
Yep.
yes, it is a Christmas film.
And it just happens to be also one of the greatest action films of all time.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Making it one of the greatest Christmas films of all time.
Mhm.
It's double dipping.
It is.
And
And it
I-
double dips well, my friend.
Yeah, because most of the time, Christmas films you only watch during Christmas time. Die Hard, you watch, put that shit on a loop year around.
You really can.
So you can watch it any day.
It's multifaceted.
Yeah.
It can just do everything.
It absolutely can. But
It's nice.
I'm excited to find, because I don't think this movie's ever been reviewed.
No, I don't
it's
think
never
anyone's
been
ever
done. We're
even
breaking new
thought
ground
about-
on
yeah,
this one.
We are.
It's a new film. Only came out almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, 1988.
1988. So
Mhm.
almost, so it's been around a while. But it is crazy. We kind of forget thinking about it now, but it built an entire new generation entire new like subgenre of action films.
It did.
That like the down and out guy, the unlikely hero, it was built here, birthed
Mm-hmm.
with Bruce Willis. Crazy.
It is.
That's how good the film. And
we
Bruce
were
Willis-
talking. We were talking about this film off air a little bit, like
Yeah.
before we started, and it is so true with this film. We were talking about like how realistic this movie is,
Oh yeah.
but at the same time, how you were saying like it doesn't take itself too serious either.
No, that's what's amazing about it. Yeah,
It's got
and
that
but it's not
brilliant
But it's not
balance.
stupid either.
It's not stupid.
Never dumb.
At no point in this movie you're like, oh my god, really? Like that
Yeah.
can't happen. It's like grounded. It's realistic. It's good, but
really
at the
is,
same
yeah.
time, it doesn't take itself too serious. It is.
No,
It's a perfect mix.
Yeah, it's believable, and you through everything you stick with Bruce Willis, and that's what's so good about this film, and refreshing for the time. You know, before action films, the action stars look like action stars. Well, they look like The Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no one looks like The Rock, but they were all Rock proteges. That's what he was building up to. So to hire Bruce Willis was super controversial when it happened. People said that guy because he had only done rom-coms. He only had done one other movie before, and it was shit. It was a romance, and it was not very good. But he was on the show Honeymooners, which was just a rom-com.
Yeah.
A TV show. But so when people saw him, they said, that scrawny little guy, he can't. And now that's all he does.
Yeah.
His action films
I
and
know.
built. And it's also Alan Rickman's
When I think
first,
all he does is Die Hard films now.
Yeah,
Because there have been a lot of them.
unfortunately.
Since. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And he does films that are aren't technically Die Hard films, but they're Die
Hard
Hard
films.
They all follow the same. And that's what this movie did. There's so many films that took from this film. Of the one guy against everyone, they all stole from this film. But yeah, also Alan Rickman's first cinema role, which is crazy. The stars aligned for this movie. But yeah.
And what a gem we got there, too. An undiscovered gem at the time.
Oh,
I mean, not
yeah.
undiscovered as far as, like, because, you know, he was doing
no
theater
one,
or whatever.
No
but
one knew him.
As far as cinema,
yeah,
no one
if
knew
you
him.
knew theater in London, you probably knew him. But no one around the world fucking knew him. Yeah, he plays a very good, menacing German terrorist. And he gave us Professor Snape.
He did.
This movie had it all. It had it all. We were talking about it a little earlier, but I had only ever seen the edited version of this film.
Right, the one that you watch during the holiday season
So I had
on
no
TV.
idea there was so much blood and so much cussing in it. I always thought his famous saying was "Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer," because that's what the TV version says.
Come to find out, it's yippee-ki-yay,
motherfucker.
which is a lot harsher than.
Yeah, I thought that's a lot cooler than melon farmer. Yeah. Why is he calling him that?
I was confused. They're German. Maybe
as a kid, I thought
like,
maybe that's like a famous German
Yeah,
thing. Like they
like
all
they
like
just
that's all they do is
really just
farm
farm
melons.
melons.
But turns out that it was just them. I guess when you have to edit a film, they just say, fuck it, and we're just doing it. If you're going to make me edit, I'm just going to do the most outrageous things. Because I've seen multiple edits of films where the cuss words that they replace don't even make any sense.
They make zero sense.
It's like that. It's not a real sentence.
No.
Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer? That's literally only because melon farmer matches the
Matches
word
motherfucker.
of motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love the edited version. I love the unedited version also because it also adds about 20 minutes of
That's
film
what I was going
that
to
I
say,
had.
too. There was a lot of footage, like, because I rented it, or I actually bought it on Amazon.
Yeah.
The high definition one. And I'm like, there's so many scenes in here that I don't specifically remember. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's because I've seen the TV version probably 50 times.
Watching TV versions of film is the worst possible format you can watch a film. It's horrible. For one, it intercuts any dramatic scenes at all with
And it's
commercials.
like every 15 minutes.
Yeah, and they have to. It has to be an even amount of time. So it has to be an either straight up hour and a half, or it has to be straight up 2. And most movies aren't an exact hour and a half, so
No,
they end up
not at
having
all.
cut out scenes.
When I had told you this too, that I found it first for free on Crackle.
Yeah.
And then I played 15 minutes and there was 2.5 minutes of ads. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, it's not,
'Cause I
and
can't
that's what
do
this
that.
film does very good. Is if especially if it's the first time you're watching it, it keeps you guessing.
It does.
You know, there's a lot of scenes where you think, how is old John McClane gonna get out of this one? Little do you know, he's strapping guns to his body. He's got all kinds of tricks.
He's got a lot of tricks.
He's the best NYPD officer in the
I've ever seen in my life.
history.
He deserves
most
the
of those
Medal of
most of
Honor
those
at this
officers are
point.
just watching the days go by. They're not really going out above and beyond. This
guy
guy's
does.
going above and beyond
Yeah.
to the point where you're like, too much, John.
Guy should have been
You're
way
doing
higher
more
up.
damage at this point than you are saving people. But let's just jump into it.
Let's do it.
So it's Christmas Eve. What gets more Christmassy than that? Christmas Eve night. John McClane, NYPD officer, detective. He's coming and he's flying and he's meeting up with his estranged wife.
Yes. Holy.
Tension. They got tension.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I love about this film is this film is not about a man and a wife. It's about a man and another man. It's the bromance between him and the police officer.
It is.
That's
Yeah, Al.
for sure. That's 100%. And I love that they did that. And I love the embrace at the very end of them hugging each other. That's like the big payoff, like the big kiss at the end. Or something. It for real is. I mean, because he could care less about his wife, he seemed at the end. It
Yeah, I
seemed
know.
like
At the
he was
end, he's
all
like,
about,
yeah, I know we still got problems.
yeah, we got to deal with this. I'm going to
We
get
still
yelled
got
at.
a lot of
I'm going to
shit we
get
gotta
yelled
deal
at no
with.
matter what. But so, but he's flying in from L.A., right? He's taking the red eye. He's flying in. He's going to surprise his wife. He's also got a couple of kids. And it's something that I never really understood as a kid. I understand more now, but how their relationship worked. They were still married, but he lived in New York and she lived in
L.A.
because she like took a job offer and he just refused to leave.
I guess so.
He said, "This ain't happening. You could be a cop literally anywhere in the world." But he refused.
He goes, New York
That's
is
a
my
shitty
jam.
husband.
Yeah, it
And
is.
that's the guy that's not meeting
This
you
re-
halfway.
This reminds me a lot of the Marriage Story, if you've seen that.
Yeah, kind of.
Because New York, L.A. thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. it doesn't really work out. But Holly's having a Christmas party at Nakatomi Tower.
Mm-hmm.
This giant tower in L.A. That was really the Fox Tower.
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah, and they charge themselves to rent that place. Like they charge themselves in order to, like, as it was being finished, that's where they were filming.
Netflix has a great documentary on this film that goes into all this and just how difficult this film was to make and how no one wanted to make it and how they had to like beg the fucking director to make it. And they finally got him on. And it was some weird thing where like they got the director and they said, you can do whatever you want, but at the very end, the tower has to blow up. That's all they told him. Yeah.
Jeez, the whole tower?
Well, the top of the tower.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, it blows up at the very end. And so he said that I had to work that in no matter what at the very end. He's like, no matter what, the top of the tower has to blow up. So at the very end, they were thinking, they didn't know, they still didn't have to figure out which way to do it. But it ends up working out the most clever way. Yeah,
it's actually really
smart. It makes it seem like he was written into the story the entire time because it's genius how they do it.
It is genius.
But yeah, so she's at the party and she invites him to the party and he gets picked up by a limousine driver, Argyle. And I only bring that up because he plays a huge role in the film.
He does. Doesn't do much.
He's the best limo driver.
Relief.
He's the best limousine driver of all time. That man is dedicated to the craft. But so he's driving them.
He was pestering him too.
Oh, yeah. And then he didn't leave the party, too. He's just hang out all night. Good limousine driver. My God.
For real.
But, so he's driven to the party, the Christmas party. And, again, who the fuck has a Christmas party on Christmas Eve?
I don't know.
No one has families?
No, I know. No one's going home to the family or anything like that. Like,
yeah, well, Holly had to leave her family.
But they're all, like, high-up business people, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
when you think about it. I mean,
know.
Goodness gracious. Like, she's not even with her kids.
On Christmas Eve, you can have it the 23rd.
I know, right? And give them 2 days off. The whole company going to
Right, be at work the next day. This is be shitty. But anyways, it's a cool place, you know. They all seem like they're enjoying it.
It's super high tech for 88 too, with the screen when he shows up.
I love the hacker, the 1988 hacking. I love all that. But yeah, it's run by Mr. Nakatomi. He's seems like a chill fucking boss.
Seems pretty cool.
This is classic.
Well, 1980s.
Oh yeah. I mean, this guy's fucking chill.
Yeah, like the office scene.
Yeah.
He just comes in. Like, I was making a phone call. Just wiping off a mountain of coke. He's got coke everywhere.
Mr. Nakatomi's like, all right.
Come on, what are you doing?
You're crazy.
Merry Christmas.
Get at it. It's not even his office.
It's not.
It's Holly's office.
Yeah, it's Holly's.
Why not do cocaine in your own office? This seems
it seems a little bit more reasonable.
But I love that character. What's that guy's name? The asshole. He's in it through the entire thing. He's just the biggest dick. He's the most typical like 1980s businessman. He's the one who tries to negotiate later with Hans.
And then he ends up dying.
And he's thinking because he's got cocaine confidence.
Wasn't his name Richard?
I think it was Richard.
Yeah, Richard Thornburg.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the Thornburg. That's a stuck-up businessman's name for sure. But yeah, it was that guy, and that guy was trying to hit on Holly as well. That's why he ended up in her office. He was trying to get with her. But yeah, so he arrives there, and Nakatomi's showing him around. Again, it's very 1980s Christmas party because that guy's doing rails of coke.
No, Richard Thornburg's the reporter. Excuse me. So that's not right.
Well, they're both assholes.
Yeah, they are. The reporter's an asshole too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I can't remember his name is additional. I can't remember, but he's got the most annoying laugh I've ever heard in any fucking film. But yeah, so he shows him around and why the shit is going on. Who ends up arriving at the fucking party? The goddamn German terrorist.
They do.
Bad luck, John McClane.
Yeah.
not tonight. Not a good night. It's not. No. Yeah.
The man never takes a day off.
No, absolutely. He thinks he's gonna fly in, chill out, have a good time, rub his feet on the carpet. You know,
doesn't happen.
And that's the first thing he does. He takes his shoes off because that fucking guy told him to. He ends up biting his ass later on.
Hell yeah, it does.
He's pulling shards of glass 3 inches out of his foot.
Oh yeah, well that was smart of Alan Rickman.
And that's something I love too is the continuity of him being in a wife beater and it being progressively dirtier and dirtier.
Exactly.
It's such a refresh from fucking
Fast and Furious,
where everyone's pristine white no matter what.
Not even a smidgen of dirt.
And him getting bloodier and bloodier and his feet getting worse and worse. Again, small details that you love to see in a fucking film.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so he's getting
Perry Ellis was his name, by the way. That is his name. Perry Ellis.
Yeah. So
the shitty business guy who did coke off the desk.
Yeah, and then he tries to negotiate and think he's gonna. I got this, guys.
Idiot.
Don't worry about it.
Well, he's all coked up. He's feeling bigger than what he actually is.
That's
Dumbass.
for sure. Because everyone else is like, "What the
What
fuck
are you
is he
doing,
thinking?"
man?
I got this one, guys. I'm feeling good about it.
Took one for the team there.
Oh yeah. So Hans Gruber and his team arrive, and they're quick. They're swift. They know what to do. They take out the security guards, and they end up immediately hacking into and end up replacing the guards with another German terrorist. There's quite the crowd of these German terrorists. They got a Chinese man. they got the black nerd hacker.
They do.
It's a very diverse group.
It is. You
No
know what?
women,
That's
though.
what I was thinking too. No women.
It was the 80s. It was a little
little
early for that. We're not that progressive.
Say, they were pretty from
Pump the
forward
brakes,
there,
okay? We're not we're not gonna try to get wild here, right? This is still Hollywood. But yeah, and they got some super fucking super terroristy names and super German names. It's the hacker Theo, Carl, and Tony Vresky, who are brothers.
Of course.
And they're very German.
They're very German.
They're off the charts German.
Yeah. Like
big, tall,
blue hair,
blonde
hair,
eyes.
yeah.
And Eddie, Yuli, Heinrich, Fritz, and James. But the group seizes the tower, and Gruber immediately takes everyone hostage. But
McClane slips away
because he's getting refreshed. He just got off of a big flight. You know, you got to freshen
and obviously
up.
his wife right beforehand had to go.
And they had a big argument as well.
They did. They had a big argument because, again, he wants her to move back kind of thing. And he's pissed off that she switched his name when they're still married. And she used her maiden name instead. And that makes him mad. And then he's like,
she had some
such an
excuse,
idiot.
but like, it's a Japanese company.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. But again, yeah. I mean,
but you know, there's problems there. You can see that right away.
And that's what I love about this film is like you think right at the start, oh, there's going to be some big love story and they're going to reconcile and they're going to get together, but that never happens.
Not really. Not
at the
until
very end. You think, yeah, I mean, he saved her, but their relationship is still doomed to me.
But one big thing
he's
that she
that
said
kinda
at
guy.
the end though was he said her maiden name and she goes, no, McClane.
Yeah,
Holly McClane.
she was feeling the adrenaline at that point. She was saying
so.
anything that would get her out.
Not only that, but
That guy just saved my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my name to McLean also. Everyone's,
I think that's the least you could do in that situation.
Everyone's like, yeah, I'm fucking McLean also.
Sure,
Yeah.
adopt me, Dad.
But yeah, and what we see in the sequel though is they never do get back together.
No, they don't.
They're divorced, and that's what it seemed like. I mean, right at the start, you can tell that relationship is doomed because he's the kind of guy that's just.
It's just. Yeah. He is the way that
he's
he
arrogant.
is.
Yeah,
he's not going to change.
He does, but the growth is nice at the very end when he, is talking about his kids and whatnot. But anyway, so Gruber takes over. He tries to negotiate with Nakatomi to get the passwords.
Yep.
Doesn't work.
And he says, "I'm not going to count to 4."
No.
And he goes, "Well, you're just going to have to kill me."
Yeah.
He goes, "Okay."
Because he finds out that he's not trying to.
Blackmail executives or anything like that.
Or he's
All
not
he
even trying to
wants-
get them to transfer money or anything because he says they'll change that right in the morning. And he goes, oh, I know. And then it's brutal and he kills him. And it shows
he
it. And
does.
I fucking love it.
And this is where we find out, too, that they're just high-level bank robbers.
No, yeah.
There's
At the
nothing,
first
like,
you're thinking they're
special really
terrorists.
about
They have
them.
a message or something. But
And it's nothing like that. It's just they're high-level bank robbers.
no, yep. And they know what they're doing, though.
Yep.
They know that they have to hack into the safe and they got this drill that takes a long time. It takes a good 2 hours
It does.
for everything's the span of the movie. But yeah, I always like the scene of them coming in and them knowing so well what to do. Immediately the guy goes, starts doing the wires, and
Very
the
well
chainsaw
planned
guy
out, yeah.
goes, his brother, and chainsaws all the wires and whatnot. And that kills all the phone lines and whatnot. But
Barely gave his brother enough time to finish the wiring.
that's
too.
what I always thought. I'm like,
I was like, damn, dude,
give him
just give
20
him-
seconds.
yeah,
That guy was so worried.
I know. It's just like, man, give him a minute. It's all good.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of time.
Yeah, because they haven't shown themselves at that point.
No.
So no one was calling out to, but he wasn't risking it.
No, he wasn't. Nope.
And I bet he regrets that was the last thing he said to his brother.
He did.
I bet he regrets him not trusting him to do his job. But yeah, so he refuses to give him whatever he wants, and he kills him. And but McLean is secretly watching while this is happening, and I'm glad he didn't really. He was again. He's not the hero. You know, he's the anti-hero almost because he doesn't like run out immediately when
No, and,
police
like,
sees his
still
wife
everyone
get
would be
taken.
amazing.
He's
Yeah, I
still kind of like, I'm gonna watch this
Chilling.
one. I'm gonna just figure out how things are going. I'm gonna just hang.
I'm just gonna figure this thing out first, okay? I mean,
I'm
if
not gonna go when their guns blazing. I'm not wild. I'm not a
she
man.
dies, she dies. You know,
Again,
one
we
of
were in
those
the
things.
middle of a divorce.
Again, she'd probably take half my shit anyway. So
It was never working
even
out for
so,
us.
You know,
Yeah.
the lesser of two evils.
But yeah, so he secretly he watches and
And he makes a noise.
he sets off a fire alarm.
Yeah.
And they immediately go, okay, the fire alarm is going from that room. They immediately know, man.
Someone's here.
He thought he was going to do something, but they already cut all the fucking wires to go outside, so nothing was getting tripped, right? But yeah, so Gruber sends Tony to investigate. Tony, you poor son of a bitch, your life was never destined for long.
It wasn't. No, it was a quick life for
Because
Tony.
McClane, he kills Tony, and again, something I thought was so satisfying. He grabs the gun. He takes,
Imagine that. He grabbed
every
the
time he
machine
kills
gun.
someone, he takes
Their
the
gun.
How many times have we seen someone kill and not pick up a weapon?
It's the most frustrating thing in the world. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like they'll continue to use a pocket knife instead of just picking up a weapon. You're like, why? Use the gun.
Yep. But so the fire alarm gets called or whatever, and again, something clever. Gruber goes, call the police. He goes, call him, let them know go, what's going on, and who shows up?
Al Powell.
Al Powell.
And he shows up, and I love the opening scene where he's going and shopping, and he's getting all these pastries. He's like, I thought cops only ate donuts. He goes, they're for my wife. He goes,
No.
Yeah, sure, they're for your
Oh,
wife.
how fucking sassy was that convenience
know,
store? And to a
gosh.
cop, too.
Zero fucks given. He's like, what are you going to do? Arrest me for that? I mean,
Yeah.
give me a break.
Thousand today, they'll just shoot your ass.
They will.
Yeah, do not
They won't even second guess that.
hesitate. Do not even roll.
Power-hungry people
Do
out
not
there.
roll the dice these
No.
days. Back then, you could fuck with a cop, but
Yeah, not now.
Today, they'll just shoot your ass. But so he's sent to investigate, and why he's waiting for the cops to come. Gruber sends two other guys. He sends Heinrich and Heinrich and what was the other?
Heinrich and Marco.
Marco, yeah. And he sends them. And it's they have quite the shootout, and I love every time someone gets shot, it's just an explosion of blood.
Yeah, the jibs were 1980s jibs, but they were still good jibs.
I appreciate it very much. I appreciate that over a CGI or no blood at all.
Or no blood at all. And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, and they're just falling down with no holes or anything. That drives me crazy.
It's frustrating
too.
as all
Man,
hell.
that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the squibs. I've always wanted to be squibbed in a movie.
Did I call him jibs?
You call him
I
jibs,
did
yeah.
call him yeah.
Squibs, yeah.
Squibs, whatever.
I would love to be squibbed in a film sometime, just riddled with fucking bullets. That's my dream. That's all I want.
Really?
Yeah. It'd be
Well,
in
we
a
can rent
gangster
one
movie.
for a day. We can do it.
Damn, I don't want that, though.
Let's
I want-
write a short film and then shoot it, and you can get all fucked up,
Oh,
dude.
that'd be awesome. Then I might just fucking squib all day. I'll just take it to the bank or the mall.
No.
Who's shooting this man?
Everyone's
Sniper.
freaking out. They don't know what's going on.
But yeah, and but McClane, he kills both Heinrich and Marco.
Yep.
And blows one of their legs out. I remember that. And Powell arrives. And he's greeted by the fucking doorman.
And this was a really good, intense scene, too.
Same, yeah.
Where he's like, it's slowly driving up, and like McClane's looking from the window, and he's like, just
And he can't do
something.
anything. And he can't do anything, yeah.
There's the windows there and everything else. And they got not snipers, but machine guns on the rooftop. They got machine guns down here on the 30th floor.
As he pulls up, that's when fucking Marco and Heinrich pull up, so he can't do anything. And while this is all going on, Al's down there having a walkthrough with the doorman. And that's another tense scene, because remember the guy's like right on the other side of the
corner.
door, because he would just fucking kill Al in a heartbeat.
And if he would have taken a few more steps, he
He'd been
would have
dead,
killed him. Yeah.
Would have
And-
followed
and
his
Al said,
child.
Screw that. And the German guy was so good at the gate, too, because he was like pretending. He's like, oh, I got $50 on this
Does.
game. He does a really good job playing it off.
He does, yeah. He does a really...
Like nothing's wrong at
yeah.
all.
Yeah, exactly. How fucking nerve-wracking would that be?
Well, yeah, your whole operation could be going to shit.
But again, these are smart...
Intelligent terrorists.
Oh, yeah. And McClane does what anyone's going to do in that operation. He throws a body off the fucking building and
Hits right
crashes
on the
it.
car.
And as soon as they see that, they say, okay, we got to take care of
Open
this
fire.
cop. And they unload on poor Al. And Al barely gets fucking out of there.
Quick reaction time, though, all things considering. He backed that bitch up in reverse so fast, Cash.
And
it was quite impressive.
Again, it's 1980s stunts where it's just like they're just doing it.
Yeah,
like it's not.
No,
it's not fake. They're just doing it, and you can tell that it's like whatever happens, we're gonna record it. And it's gonna happen because the guy is just hitting everything.
Oh yeah, and I do appreciate that so much. I wish they would go back to doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, me
it's
too.
Like it's so much
all
more
too
realistic.
coordinated.
It
now.
is way too coordinated.
If you ever driven reverse, it's fucking difficult,
especially with a body on your hood.
Yeah, so you're not, and especially getting shot at.
Adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so it's. Same. It was so much more raw, but it felt so much more realistic to me. And a lot of people don't like that kind of that rawness, but that's how it is. Remember, everything's not coordinated. It never works out like that. But yeah, he barely gets away. Mm-hmm. But McLean,
and I love how he's freaking out on the radio too. It's so funny. He's like,
"Oh yeah,
send me some goddamn backup right now." It's so funny.
And but McLean, he steals a bag of explosives from old Heine. Heinrich had
He had some C4 in his bag
that he brought up with him for some reason.
I don't know why. Why did you do that? Just makes
so now
sense.
McLean's got a lot of guns and a lot of fucking
bombs.
C4.
Yeah.
And as this is all going on, now the SWAT and everything is obviously being called in now. You know, this is the real fucking deal.
Oh, yeah.
And man, it's typical fucking cops. It's a shit show.
Escalation to its fullest.
It's a shit show right off the bat. No one knows what's going on. No. It's like, you think there'd be so much more like attention on this.
And
with
like
them,
professionalism.
Like, him having 40 fucking hostages, and then it's obviously being like not a random event. Like it's always been planned. Yeah, no one knows what's going on. They send us.
Yeah, and then the police chief, Dwayne T. Robinson.
He's the biggest
dipshit I've ever met.
Who, man, is that guy typecasted and everything as,
he really
as a
was.
dipshit.
Paul Gleason?
Yeah. In remember he's in most famous Breakfast Club. He plays the principal.
The principal, that's
right. He's an asshole. He's playing he always plays
he was in Not Another Teen Movie as well.
Yep, and he always plays the authority figure that is an idiot.
Yep.
But he plays it well.
And Revenge of the Nerds, yeah.
That's one of those guys you see in everything, but you never know his name unless you look it up. But yeah, he comes and but Clayton's still talking to Al, and that guy kind of takes over or whatnot, and that guy sends a fucking SWAT truck in. He says, "We're doing it. This is gonna be simple."
That SWAT truck was awesome too.
God, it was.
That thing kind of looked like the Cybertruck a little bit. Maybe
that was going. Well, that Cybertruck is 100% an 80s design.
Absolutely.
That because in the 80s, that's what they thought was the future.
The future, yeah.
They thought it would be hard angles. Everything hard angles. We just can't afford curves.
No, not anymore. No, not this
curves
elegant
are the
design.
best. That's for fucking peasants and.
I love the design of Cybertruck. That thing's so dope.
I do not.
I love
it.
I want one so bad.
I want one, but it is dumb looking. It is so dumb looking.
Come on, man. You're not a fan of the Cybertruck?
Not the look.
I love the Cybertruck.
It's straight up 1980s.
That's why I love it. You got to respect it.
1980s
It's futuristic,
techno,
even though it's 80s.
It's futuristic, but somehow extremely dated.
And it just seems like Elon Musk just kind of trolls people, but he's not trolling people. It's just...
Well, there's actually a reason to that. Did you ever hear that? Because the metal is the same metal they use for the SpaceX, for the spaceships. They can't bend.
Really?
They can't curve or...
so it's probably pretty safe to drive in then, for accidents.
It's supposed to be bulletproof. It's supposed to be completely indestructible.
Yeah. Except the glass.
Yeah.
The
glass was supposed to be bulletproof.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not sledgehammer proof.
No, he's like,
stop a gun, but it's not gonna stop a hammer.
In post.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be, if you curve the metal, I guess it ruins the integrity of the metal, makes it weaker.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
whole reason.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking hideous.
I think it looks cool.
God,
I like it. I would definitely drive one.
Well, yeah, because it's a Cybertruck.
Exactly. It's
of course
cool,
you would.
No matter what. It's awesome.
But so James and Alexander, the Cybertruck pulls up, and it's not indestructible.
No, it's
like
not.
Elon says, it's not.
They set up
Of course, they set up an anti-tank missile.
A pretty big deal. I mean, can take out a tank.
Yeah, and at this point, McLean, he's talking to Hans he's got a walkie also, so he's talking to Hans.
They've been talking
so
shit
they've been
back and
having
forth.
a back and forth. They've been having a good fucking back and forth. But
good banter.
But he says they shoot it once, and McLean, he calls him and says, "Come on, let them back out now. You made your point or whatever." And Hans says, "I don't think I will."
No, he goes, I'll take your advice on that. Shoot again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to stop them from shooting, McClane MacGyver's a fucking
C4.
a chair bomb
down the elevator shaft.
Yeah, and that does the job.
It did.
He's fucking lucky the whole building didn't come
explode,
down. Like
and he didn't kill everyone there.
The whole integrity of the building didn't collapse. But he's an action first, think later kind of man.
He definitely is.
Yeah, we'll register all this when it's happening.
Oh,
Right now, I got
definitely a
C4 and I got a chair.
I got to make something happen. People are dying out there. Good police officers. Am I going to protect my wife or am I going to protect these police officers?
It's true.
You got to back the boys
It's
in
blue
blue.
blood, baby. It's thicker than blood.
Blue.
But so he does that, and he does that, and a big explosion happens, and it does stop them from blowing up. And at this point, Harry's
like, "No, we're done. Either he's gonna kill us or they're gonna kill us."
Yeah, and it's 100% again cocaine confidence.
Well, I mean, he was literally snorting cocaine
the
right
entire
before he
time
said
he's,
that.
like,
He's still like hitting cocaine.
And
all
I
the time.
wonder how this guy prepped for this role, because he was a pretty accurate one-on-one representation of some guy that's been a coke a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure in the 80s.
Method
I'm sure in the 80s.
Well, he literally said that in the thing. He goes, "What am I, a method actor?"
Yeah.
You know, when he's in the or when he was
I bet
in
he's
the
real fucking
interrogation
method
room.
in the sense that he was bringing the cocaine to the set.
He definitely was. This is the 80s.
Late
Cash.
80s.
It was okay.
God.
It was looked
It was like
upon
water.
Like what? Yeah. Or like vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually in movies,
doesn't
they
care
had to
about vitamins?
roll that into the budget, was cocaine. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. They had to do it for Blues Brother with Carrie Fisher and
I bet.
Jerry Belushi and them. They had to bring, they said there was a budget for cocaine.
Jeez, that's wild.
That was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
Oh, if I can go back there. We could roll,
We need
man.
a time machine. We got to go back to 60s, 70s, and 80s.
But, Harry Ellis, he thinks he's got a plan. He says, I'm going to roll up in here, and I'm going to say John McClane's my best friend. And when they hear this, John McClane's going to come down here. He's going to gum this, and he's not going to let his best friend Harry Ellis die.
Of course not.
Who he literally met 30 minutes ago.
Stupidest idea ever. This is a coked up idea if I've ever seen one.
For sure.
It's just
What do you
not
think was going to
wise.
happen? Oh, Harry, my friend, I got to get down there. He's not even going down there for his own wife,
No.
let alone Harry Ellis.
You think he's going to go save the day for Harry?
Yeah.
And
And
that's
don't
not
forget,
how-
Harry made that dive because Mary's like, show him the watch. And he's like, oh, I'll see you later. And he makes John has no problem at all letting this guy die. But it's a good scene, though, because John's like, you're a fucking idiot. He's like, you have no idea. Because at this point, John does know that he's not dealing with just bank robbers, but
Well, and Harry thought he was...
highly intelligent.
Yeah. Terrorists.
Yeah, and they're not.
They're not idiots.
And they're not risking anything. No.
Of course not. And Harry thought that he could pull it over like he does as a sales. You know,
This
And-
guy
and it
works
was so funny.
sales.
He works sales, and he thinks he's going to negotiate with.
I
these
don't think
high-level
the
terrorists.
skills translate to hostage negotiator.
Well, and I love it too.
I'm a
He's-
good salesman.
He walks into the room and immediately starts a sales pitch because he goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "It's not what I want. It's what I can do for you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, that's the tropey salesman right there."
Yeah.
You're way in.
But I
over your
love
head,
how
kid.
Hans is like, I'm going to listen to this guy. He tries to pretend
Well,
that.
yeah, because he might get information out of him before he kills him.
Exactly, yeah. And something I like about this guy is he was an asshole, but he never straight up said, oh, your wife's down here or anything like that. Because he could have done that to save his ass.
He could have.
But,
He didn't.
he did. Because he ends up kind of taking the blame. He's like, yeah, we're good friends or whatever. And like, I brought him to the party or whatever. Hans isn't having it.
No. And then he starts to raise the gun. And he goes, "Whoa, hey man, this is radio.
I'm not
this
a
isn't
method-
television. Yeah, I'm not a method actor. What are we doing here?"
And then the whole time, John's yelling, shut up,
up,
shut up. Tell them you
Tell
don't know
them you
me.
don't know me. And he wouldn't. And sure enough, Mr. Hans Gruber.
No, I
ends
love
the
the
man's
scene. They're
Life.
giving him like a Coke, and he's like,
Yeah.
sit back. He's like, he's got it
like,
all
I'm
figured
loving
out.
life. I made the right call.
This is Harry. You did it again.
Save the day again, my guy.
Save
Not
some
only
Coke
am I the
for
best
after. 'cause you-
salesman, but I'm also a terrorist negotiator.
But so Harry
Didn't
gets
work out that way.
blown away by Hans
Gets
again.
executed, yeah.
And something that I thought was cool. Apparently, before this movie, of course, Alan Rickman, he's never held a gun before.
Wow.
Yeah, which is wild to us Americans. But being in England, that makes more sense.
I guess so, yeah.
But they said when he was holding it, when they first got him, he was holding it really limp. He said so. Every time he had to keep telling him to hold it straight because he's never held a gun before.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was a big thing. I thought that was pretty funny. He was that green to it because he holds it good in the movie. You know, he holds it straight up. But apparently he was real limp wristed when he was holding it, which is not very scary when a guy's like holding
when he's like this, just like barely holding it. Yeah, it's not. But not as intimidating.
Yeah, so Harry gets blown away, and that's another hostage. Hostage
gone.
Now they're racking up the bodies.
They are. And then right after this is when Gruber goes up to the roof and checks on the detonator.
Yeah, because they keep stressing on that they need the fucking detonators. We don't know why.
Nope.
At the start, but he keeps saying, and McClane even says at one point, "Why do you need detonators? I use all the fucking C4." But yeah, Gruber goes up there because at this point he's losing men.
Yeah, and he says, "You know what? If you want something done right, just do it yourself."
Yep.
And so he goes up
there.
And
I love this scene. It's so fucking good when McClane finds
It's good acting too.
It's just shows you how fucking smart Hans Gruber is.
Right away.
And I love that fucking accent he does.
Yeah.
What's your name? Clay? My name's Clay. He's got the most, it's like him obviously doing like a white guy accent. But yeah, and you think Gruber's gonna get away with it. Because remember, he runs away and he almost grabs the gun. Mm-hmm. He's like, we gotta go this way.
Yeah.
And then fucking McClane stops him. That would have been then right there. But McClane's no dumb himself.
No, because he saw the name up there and he took it. And then McClane looks up at the board and checks out that the name's right.
And then he gives him a gun. And you can tell Hans is like, oh my God, this guy's an idiot.
Gave me the golden ticket. What's
this
he doing?
Guy's the dumbest man I've ever met. And that scene is so famous, but it's so good.
It is a great scene.
Because as soon as he gives him the gun, Hans radios in, I got this.
In German, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I like that. Something else I like is they speak German a lot.
They do.
But no subtitles or anything. Mm-hmm. It makes you feel kind of like you're maybe like part of the hostage situation. And it makes it kind of that much more foreign and scary, I think. But yeah, he pulls a gun on him. And it's so funny because McClane goes, Hans, you idiot. That's an empty gun. And he goes right up to him and grabs the gun from him. But of course he doesn't shoot him because
it's a movie.
The bad boys are coming.
Right. They come up the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
And their guns ablazing. They got 2 machine guns.
And don't forget, it's what's his name, whose brother
was just killed.
McClane and this guy, he says, pissed. I want blood.
Well, yeah, and when they go up to chase him in the elevator shafts initially, he goes, I only can kill him.
He goes, no one kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay, so what are they supposed to do? Like, why don't you just go up there by yourself?
They're going to stop him, then they're going to let him
just
kill
corner
him.
him.
Yeah.
Just
a stormtrooper method. Yeah.
Just corner him in a room.
Yeah, I don't think when you told that, I don't think any of the guys were like, sure.
Oh,
because it looked like they were shooting to kill.
They were. They didn't take his advice.
No, yeah.
I think if one of them hit him, they're like, yeah, you definitely hit him.
You got him, guy. Let's get out of here. But, yeah. So he almost kills old Hans, but it gets interrupted by 2 of the German guys. And then another shootout takes place. This time, McClane, he's got to run away. He runs away, and he gets to, like, the elevator shaft or whatever, right? And that's when he makes the fall or whatever, the climb and whatnot.
Yes.
And that's when he gets in the...
Because he killed Fritz and Franco.
Yep. And that's when he gets into the air ducts. He says, now I know what a TV dinner feels like. Classic, just a great line.
Great line.
It's funny that with all this going on, he can still
have a great sense of humor.
He can still
great
That's
one-liners.
just McClane for him, man.
Yeah.
He can still, and who's he
Always
talking
got a
to?
sense of humor. Just himself.
Just him.
Just himself.
I wonder if he's like, man, that was fucking good.
He goes, that was good.
I'm gonna write
that
down.
shit down later.
If I get out of here, I know what a TV, man. That's classic. But yeah, and who's the other German brother? Is that Hans? Is that the other one that's still mad?
Isn't it Carl?
Oh, it is Carl.
Carl.
Because I remember thinking, only in Germany could a guy named Carl be scary.
Yes.
You see a Carl here?
Carl here? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, Carl, you poor son of a
you're
bitch.
not scary. Yeah.
They're usually very round, smaller in stature.
Or they're super small and fragile.
Yeah.
Because I know a Carl who's very small.
And you could tell immediately this is Carl with a K.
Yeah.
Because this guy
is a real deal, Carl. This guy don't mess around.
And something that was cool is like this guy, Carl, whatever, he was a ballet dancer.
No
they
way.
hired. Yeah, he was a really famous ballet dancer that they hired. Yeah. They said it was really important for the fight scenes and stuff like that. Because at one point he does kind of crane up and kick. He does it. It's a very flexible kick. But yeah, so he's hunted, and Carl, he almost finds him in the air duct. Remember, it's another tense scene because he's poking up at the air duct.
Yeah,
he's got
and he's
one left.
away.
And then the
And
guy,
of course, they call him in.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. And Hans is calling them all back. You know, he's because he knows they're just going to get picked off one by one. Actually, Hans the entire time is trying to get Carl to come back. And just people are dropping left and right.
They are.
And again, at this point, the FBI has arrived. And the FBI agents are just
Johnson
dumb as
and Johnson.
fucking cops. But they are so funny. I love these two characters.
No, the other one.
Yeah, just Johnson.
The other
special.
Johnson.
No relation.
Yeah.
One guy's black. Somebody has to say that. I swear that their characters were so funny. And one of my favorite scenes is when they're in the helicopter and they're just going to start shooting people. I remember
Yeah,
that
just
was their entire plan. Was like, and the guy goes, this is just like Saigon, ain't it, Johnson?
Yeah.
And Johnson goes, I was in middle school, you idiot. Or he goes, you asshole.
Or how about when they're going up in the helicopter? He's
So
like,
mean.
We'll have about 25% of the hostages die. He's like, you good with that? He goes, yeah, I'm more than
can
good.
live with that.
Yeah, I can live with that. Like, just give no fuck about human lives.
Those guys were 100% like comedy
jackasses.
relief. They were so funny.
It was funny.
But yeah, he's like, I love this shit. It's just like Saigon. He's like, I was in junior high, you asshole. But yeah,
Robert Davi. He's pretty famous. That guy's in a lot of shit.
That's the guy with the pox marks.
Yeah, he's in the Goonies, remember?
He's in a ton of stuff. Yeah, he plays one of the brothers. Yeah. Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. The other guy I didn't recognize. The other Agent Johnson.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, but they're taking command. They're taking over, and their big plan is to shut the power off. Little do they know, that's Hans Gruber's whole fucking plan. He wants the power off so he can get into the safe for the bail bonds.
Yeah, $640 million.
This
in
man,
1988, that's a lot of money.
He's like Trump. He's playing 8D chess.
Oh,
he's
dude.
9.
He's moving the pieces.
You're playing
He's
Chinese
so far
checkers.
ahead,
I'm
man.
up here, baby. I'm on another fucking realm. But yeah, so he knows. And the whole thing with them like using the drill and everything was just so they could see like the power surge or whatever. Because immediately agents were like, because they didn't want to shut the power off.
No, they didn't.
And he yells at the guy and he's like, you want your fucking job, you'll shut this goddamn power off. And I love because when it opens up, it's like Christmas morning or whatever. They're running in
They're
there.
all
They're
happy. Everyone's like, that's the
Christmas
first time we
music
see
starts playing.
Gruber smile. Yeah.
Yeah, because
High-fiving
they got the bonds. That's all they wanted. $640 million. Where are they going to cash those out?
I have no idea.
What bank fucking cashes those fucking bonds?
Well, then we get Gruber's master plan at the whole time. He goes, you can steal $600 and still have your name. But he goes, if you steal $640 million, he goes, you got to be dead.
Oh, yeah.
You got to at least make them think you're dead.
And it makes sense for why he's got to blow up the building now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, and that was the whole deal is they were going to blow up the building, mask their death, and then get out when everyone was freaking out in the chaos.
Yep.
Just ride fucking off. And thank God that a few of them ended up dying because I can't see 12 of them cramming into that fucking ambulance, man. Like there had to have been a couple that had to die.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
They weren't all making it out of there.
Well, I'm sure Gruber had that plan.
For sure.
He's not going to.
If anything, he's probably going to end up killing everyone.
Yeah.
And just taking it all for himself. But
would not have doubted that.
But yeah, master plan, very, very smart for old Gruber. But one thing he didn't plan on, old John McClane.
No, you can't. The
Old
monkey and the wrench. The wrench, whatever.
Yeah.
However that saying goes.
But and at this point, John's his feet are tore up. We got to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because he's picking large shards.
And
of
again,
glass.
Hans is brilliant. He's smart. When he was captured, quote unquote, captured by McClane, he noticed he wasn't wearing shoes. And he told his men, shoot at the glass.
Yep.
And his feet just get torn up.
Oh, yep. Yeah,
McClane's
and I
in the
love that
bathroom.
scene. Yep.
And I love the
Small
blood.
little
I love
details,
everything
yeah.
about it. Like the trail of blood. You could see the cuts in his feet.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Okay, yeah, so they disable the power vault or the vault or whatever, and Gruber makes demands. I like this a lot too. Smart. He starts just rambling off like really high up terrorists from all over the place. He's like Bangladesh, whatever. He's like the Sinister Six or whatever they're fucking called.
The something Dawn.
Yeah, they're all the Red Dawn, or it's all
Dawn,
very cryptic, but yeah, the FBI or the police chief, he's scrambling to like get this done. He's like, I don't think I have the power. But so he's scrambling to get this done, and this is obviously bullshit. And they call for 2 helicopters as well to transport them. The FBI, they were never going to give him 2 helicopters. They bring in 2 fucking Warhawks or whatever they're
to
called.
shoot down
2
people.
Apache helicopters.
This is like the
Just
boar
to mow
hunting in
down
Texas.
everyone.
They're just like, doo, doo,
Yeah,
doo,
and
doo.
again, these guys have like no one working above them. They're like they have so
get to
much
do whatever. They have no one clearing any of this.
25% survival rate is the worst hostage of all time.
You should be fired immediately. For that.
No one does.
If that's what you're going in with,
Yeah.
with expectations.
But man, they have unlimited resources, and no one's saying no.
No one's saying nothing.
No one's saying no, and so they get a couple gunships up there.
They do.
But and this is when McClane, he finds out that Gruber is going to detonate the roof.
Yep, because he finds a C4 up there.
Yes, and everyone's being led up to the roof.
Mm-hmm. Now he's in panic mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and they have one guy leading everyone up to the roof, and he goes up and frees them. But at the same time, Hans finds out that Holly
is obviously McClane's wife, because through the news, that shithead reporter went in and
that's a whole. And I love that subplot of that whole thing of following him because of that reporter, because he had nothing, and then he's like fighting with the other reporter, or the anchor man, who's like an idiot.
And then he threatens the nanny. He
goes to
I'm
their
gonna
house.
call an INS if you don't let me into this house.
He goes to their fucking house by their parents, and he does
interview
bullshit. He's like,
the
"Don't you want them
children."
to say?"
The children.
That's 1980s, man. There's nothing trash.
Oh my God.
All trash TV.
Do you want your parents home? Yeah.
Well, what's one thing you could say to your mom? Come home. I don't know what's happening. Why are you here? Yeah, I'm not even sure they were aware their parents were off.
That is the shittiest reporter of all time. He should be in jail for that.
Yeah, he was breaking the news that their parents. Yeah, but he just wanted that scoop, man.
Yeah,
classic reporters. They're
Some
willing to
reporters,
do anything.
man.
They're bottom of the barrel.
That's
But,
that Richard Jewell reporting right there.
Yeah, just about. But yeah, so he finds out that Holly is related to him, and he just, because he's in Holly's office still, that's kind of, he looks over because Holly earlier on or whatever, or someone flipped the picture down.
Right, she did at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Right, and then she, in the office, when she's talking and like meeting the demands, saying they got to go to the bathroom and stuff, she glances at the pictures for a second. He turns around, and then he thinks she's looking at the kids' photo. But then he goes back again. He sees the news.
Holly's smart too.
She is.
Yeah.
And he picks up the picture and realizes,
he goes,
shit.
Oh shit. And remember
That's
I like because he
McClane.
runs out of the room and kind of slides. And he goes, Holly
Boom,
McClane.
boom, boom. He shoots the gun 3 times. I'm like, gee,
Goes,
what is the
"Holy-"
Wild Wild West? You could have just
She
sprayed.
immediately
Yeah,
was.
she's like, what the fuck, bro? Chill.
He was so, but he was excited. He thought
He
it was
was.
all over because
Yep.
he was just printing. He goes, Holly McClane.
Little does he know, they're getting a divorce anyway. He
Yeah,
would have let
McClane
her
has
die.
no ties to this
No.
woman at all. He forgot about her already.
He did.
But yeah, so he takes Holly up to the office or whatever, and he tries radioing in, but the radio doesn't work or whatever because they cut off communication or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember why the radio doesn't work, something like that. But I think it's because he's up there freeing all those people.
Yeah,
he's kind of in the middle. Of something.
Yeah, well, and he's fighting Carl too, remember? So
That's
why.
right.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because
got the big scene with
Gruber
Carl.
tries to
Yeah.
radio him, but he's in the middle of fighting Carl.
Yeah, and you could tell that man's a dancer, but just by how light he
you
was
could.
on his feet.
You could, because I
tell.
thought there was something there,
I-
but I didn't
I
think
honestly do,
dancer.
yeah.
I was thinking
He's
maybe
very
like
light.
karate, mixed martial artist
Exactly,
or something.
yeah,
but
because he's very
a
light. on his
dancer, it
feet,
makes
but,
sense.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like replaying those fight scenes.
Oh, he's very graceful. For a giant man.
Yeah.
But I love their fight because the whole time McClane's yelling, I'm gonna kill you. He's just
Yeah.
the whole time. It feels like a very, very real, like street fight almost.
It does.
But it's a back and forth between them, and he finally hangs Carl.
He does with the chain.
Cool
Wraps
death.
it around a couple times.
Cool death, because that was a long fight
Or so
scene.
we think.
Yeah, turns out Carl.
Again,
of course, he did have a hand in there.
he did, but I mean, how long was he hanging up there? Because when he goes back to the roof, he frees the hostages.
My question is how fast
they
they got him down. Like, it took them nothing for those paramedics to immediately run in there and just unhook him and get him down.
Yes, and he
like
was
in
still
5
alive?
minutes. In 5 minutes, they got him down quick.
I know, and he was still alive.
There's so many
being
other
hung there.
bodies you gotta like look
know,
for. They
yeah.
immediately got him down and got him down.
They just knew exactly where to go, I guess. So,
cut him down, yeah, because it's quick. It's right after the explosion, but yeah. So he hangs him. He goes up to the roof. He tries to get everyone to get off the roof, but no one's fucking budging.
Yeah, no one's listening for some weird reason.
And he does the dumbest thing. He starts
shooting the gun up in the air, and the FBI agents, they're in the helicopter.
I love
they
the
go,
pilot.
"Hey,
The
shoot
pilot
that
goes,
guy."
we're getting shot at. And he immediately, everyone's like, well, take him down. And the guy starts shooting at him. Not that the guy's shooting a machine gun and the other guy's sniping at him.
And it's in a crowd of people as well. It's like those bullets could very well stray. It's like you're shooting from a long ways away.
So funny.
But again, I guess when you only need 25% to live,
you can take out a few bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
for
going to
sure.
be a few casualties.
At that point, they were just trying to end it, I feel like. But yeah, they do strafe. And remember, he used to run and like jump. He goes, I'm on your side, you assholes.
Yeah. Great line.
But he gets everyone down, and Hans blows the roof.
He does.
He does it. And he blows the roof, and it's an awesome... And it's all done with miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks great.
It does.
That
Looks
helicopter,
really
that was a toy helicopter.
Yeah.
That they did.
It
It
looked
looked
good.
amazing. And it crashing into the building on the side, it was just all random.
And McClane jumping off the roof, too, with the fire hose.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's snagging right on the side
That
of
was
it there.
ballsy of him.
Yeah,
That was ballsy.
It was very ballsy. But what are you going to do?
But yeah, the documentary on Netflix shows them film that whole explode. You know, they just made a model of it, and they ran just fake helicopters, and they can only do it once. They said they can only they only had
Really?
the budget
With the model?
with a model because it was a model, but it was big. It was really big for a model.
Okay.
It's not like an average model. It was like I want to say it was like 20 feet tall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was really tall.
Yeah.
And the miniature helicopters were like pretty big as well because they had to look really real, you know. But yeah, they could only blow it up once. They said, they blew it up once and it looked perfect. But yeah, that ends up destroying the FBI agents or killing him. And I love the police chief at the end goes, I think we're going to need more FBI agents.
I love that line too. That was funny.
But yeah, so it blows up and things are looking good for Gruber.
They are.
They end up, McClane ends up coming down and they end up meeting at some point in the building. And it's when they're at the very they're not at the very bottom. I think they're still like in the safe room or something.
Yeah, well, because then it goes right down to Theo, the hacker.
Yep.
Right, and then he retrieves the getaway vehicle, which is the ambulance.
Yep.
But our boy's there to save the day. The limo driver who's just been chilling this whole
entire
time.
thing, yeah. And
he rams right into him.
he does. He saves the fucking day. Yeah, knocks
him
out Theo
unconscious.
or whatever. Yeah. So now they have no way of getting out of there. So now things are looking desperate.
It is
for old Hans. And but Gruber or McClane confronts McGruber.
McGruber. I know. I want to say McGruber too, which is so funny. That's that SNL guy, right?
Yeah, and they also made a McGruber movie. Yeah, Will Forte. It's hilarious. But Hans Gruber or McClane confronts Gruber. Mm-hmm. But
and the other guys as well, Eddie and whatever.
But
Eddie
he pulls. He doesn't see it, but he pulls Holly. Holly's hiding, and he goes, "Not so fast, old McClane. I know who this bitch is.
Mm-hmm.
You got ties.
You're in trouble. Put your weapon down."
Little does he know he just fucking duct taped a gun to the back of his
and this
real
was
quick,
sharp shooting my guy.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And he calls Holly. Holly knows to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
One quick, and then boom, a headshot. And what a headshot that was.
It was.
Right dead between
and I love they showed
friggin'
it,
eyeballs.
it's
just like, oh.
And he also shoots fucking Gruber.
He does.
Even though he's got a gun, that was the ballsiest move.
It really
he
ballsy,
shot his
he could have
wife.
just shot her, and it would have been over. The whole
He
thing.
almost does still.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, so he shoots old Hans. Hans stumbles back, and we know what happens.
Yeah, he's about to fall to the window, and this is one of the most iconic.
It still might be the best fall death. It's
absolutely. And what was so cool about this fall death is when they originally filmed it.
And they show that in the
told
documentary as well. It's hilarious.
They originally
he's
told him
pissed.
on 3, right? And they drop him
So it's a real
right
fall,
before
yeah.
2. And so his face reaction there, though, when he's like,
And it was a big deal because he really had to drop 20 feet, obviously, into a
whatever,
a foam and air. Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly. But he never had done any stunts or anything before.
So that's terrifying.
He not only ever act on a stage before. For him to do that, and they said that he was pretty nervous about the whole thing.
I bet.
And they
then
said
drop him on that.
And they
too.
said that it was something like it was his last day or something. It was on his last day, and they said they scheduled it specifically on his last day so they could drop him, and he couldn't quit if he was mad.
That's
So
awesome.
they said if he was pissed off, that he couldn't quit right after because he was
it's
already done shooting.
And the movie's wrapped up. Just hopefully we don't have any reshoots in 1980.
But yeah, so they did. Yeah, and I like that. That's awesome. That the whole story of him because you could see the terror in his eyes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He
And it's
looks
a
like-
perfect slow-mo.
And I've had that feeling too, where you
yeah,
feel
but-
like you're.
Oh, yeah, your gut just goes.
It does, man, and you can obviously tell that it's. I mean, it's not horrible, but you could tell it was a blue screen that they did that. But he's falling for 100% for real.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's cool because you can tell he's fucking reaching for anything.
And I gotta say too, it's good acting as well. I mean, it's not acting, but the whereabouts as an actor to be able
for
to
him to
then
not-
pull that gun when they didn't tell him they were gonna drop him on 3.
Yeah, for him to stay in character, that was
exactly,
pretty good. Yeah.
and still try to pull the gun and shoot her.
Well, that's always the telltale sign of a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
Is someone like it's just like the story of like Hugo Weaving in Lord of the Rings when he kicks the helmet and he really breaks his foot and then he lets out that big scream. You know, he just used that. Or with like Leonardo DiCaprio and Django when he cuts his
Django when
hand.
he
and
cuts his hand. Yeah.
That is always. I mean, I'm just saying this. I don't know if it's an actual, but that seems to me that's always a telltale sign of a good actor. Someone that knows
Stays in the moment
and can
uses that moment.
immediately because. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I don't think anyone's thinking about, I can use this.
No.
But I guess when you're that good an actor, you're thinking, I can immediately use this. Because that's all acting is trying to use something to convey emotion. But,
Exactly.
But yeah, very smart. And it's such a good scene. And I love how he doesn't fall on anything. It's just a fucking thud. And all the cops are like, oh.
Well, and I love it when
Remember
he's
the guy's like,
falling,
I
he's
hope that's not
"Hope
a...
that's not a hostage. Yeah.
Because they all just watching him fall.
Which wasn't
Because they have no idea.
That was an actual stuntman who made that fall.
I don't know. Yeah, that wasn't on but I mean, it has to be obviously. I mean, it looks.
Because I remember.
But I don't know
learning
how they
something
would have.
about that.
I don't know how they would have done it. Because it looks like he's falling for 30 stories.
Oh yeah. But aren't there stuntmen who do that kind of stuff?
There are, but I don't think they would like strap like a wire onto to the top of the building or anything like that.
That's
They
true.
would
It
have
might have
to.
been a
They would have to
dummy.
film the. Yeah,
That's a very realistic.
but it is
dummy,
because he's
though,
moving around.
He's moving around.
What I'm guessing is they filmed that fall, obviously, like on a tower or something, and then they just put that into and showed because I do think it is someone falling. I think they just dropped someone into a foam mattress again and just. Put him into
that's what
that.
I'm saying. Just a bigger one, but had him do a stunt.
Yeah, he wasn't
double
really falling
fall.
off the building or
No,
anything.
no,
Yeah,
no.
They just replaced it, but yeah, it looks it looked amazing though.
It did.
And that's what we think is the end. John reconciles with his wife, or at least for now, and they kind of make up for a little bit. But the real bromance is between Al and John. They in that embrace at the very end. Oh God. Just so heartwarming.
It is.
They're just
that's
so
why it's a
happy
Christmas
together.
movie
They're
right
just
there,
so
yeah.
I know they're just so.
It's a bromance.
He's almost like he doesn't like almost shed any emotion when he finds his wife.
He's
when
like,
they
"Hey."
embrace, but when they embrace at the end, you could just feel that, man.
And even when she was like, "Yeah, no, McClane," he's like, "Yeah." What's up, Al?
Well, I mean, yeah, that connection they felt, and they could never ever meet each other in person. It was all on voice.
It's true.
Beautiful. What a romance.
It was like a pen pal before,
Yeah.
I mean, voice pal.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like a walkie-talkie app.
absolutely. And we
Fun stuff.
and earlier on we got a little side plot with Al. He talked about how it got emotional. He talked about how he fired his service weapon on a kid,
On a 13-year-old kid.
with a
Yep.
fake gun.
Yeah.
And that's why he's just like I don't know what he was, but he was like a traffic cop or in the sense where
Yeah.
he never like roamed the streets or anything like that. So he was always scared to pull his gun. He said he'd never pull his gun again.
And then who do we see? We think the day's over, And then Carl comes out in the very 80s.
And what's wild is they gave Carl his gun.
They gave him
way down.
Here you go.
They put him in a body bag and put the gun in the body bag.
bag.
He's gonna need this. he's gonna want this in the afterlife.
We don't need to put this in evidence. We'll just put it in the body bag. Save a bag.
I don't got this many hands.
No.
I can't carry the gun and carry the guy. Can we
Let's just
make
put it with the
one
guy.
trip,
Yeah.
please?
And sure enough, Al just lights him up.
God, because the guy wouldn't go down.
No, he wouldn't.
Even after 5 shots, he still lunges forward like he's gonna shoot. And Al just But yeah, I love that scene of the slow-mo zoom out of Al, and he's like kind of shaky and
With
he's
the
so
barrel,
good.
with the smoking barrel, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's made to be like, who shot him? Who do we know? I mean,
We all know it was Al. I mean, who else? It
but they were
definitely
fucked
wasn't
because
McClane.
old McClane didn't have a gun anymore strapped. He didn't have another strap,
Guy could have killed a lot of people. Al's a hero.
He was just gonna fucking unload that crowd because he was angry at that point.
He was pissed.
He was very upset. His
Which
brother
was
had
so
died.
funny. Like,
he had
Carl,
died.
if he would have just used his brain, could have stole some of that $640 million and just snuck out of the crowd.
Yeah,
Idiot.
yeah. It would have been the
But
perfect
he let his
crime.
greed get to him.
He could have done. He could have done the Hannibal Lecter while he was in the fucking ambulance. Rises
Rise
up,
up.
starts wearing each other's faces. Yeah, but he wasn't thinking.
No, it wasn't the price.
He had revenge on his mind.
He did.
It's for his brother, his idiot brother.
Stupid brother.
Don't ever take on old John McClane single-handedly.
No, you can't do it.
He's gonna wipe the floor, and there's
Damn
nothing
near
McClane
impossible.
hates than those goddamn German terrorists. Well, Mason, I love Die Hard.
As do I.
I feel like I was born to watch and review this film. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we were able to do it. Do we need to give it a
No,
grade?
I don't think so.
It's
I think
an
for
A.
classics,
I'm going to just say
an A.
it's
yeah,
an
of
A.
course. It's an A.
It's
Yeah,
one of the greatest. Again, I stand by one of the greatest action films of all time. It's smart, and it's too. Action film these days are just dumb. That's the biggest. That's my biggest gripe. Is
Right.
they're dumb.
They're
They're
over
not
the top, and they always think like these bigger and more grandiose things are better. But it's like these simple stories
And
that
they
are
never-
grounded in reality are better.
and they never make human choices. That's the biggest
No,
thing. Is they're
yeah.
always making like things you wouldn't do. They're always making it harder on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, it always seems like he just wanted to survive. He's just doing everything he could to survive. And he was picking up guns. I'd be picking up every goddamn gun I saw.
Hell yeah.
You're never gonna run out of ammo.
Never.
And he did. He had an arsenal at the end. That's why he
did.
was able to strap guns all over his
Multiple
body.
guns. Yeah.
And have C4.
It was realistic. That's
It
that's
does.
one thing I love about this film.
Yeah. And
It
the
was just an
gore and the blood
all-around
and
great
everything. Yeah.
Action film.
That's what action films, if you have killing, it's almost gotta be rated R,
Yeah.
right? That's another thing is action films are always PG-13 these
You know what's
days.
really a travesty and what's really sad about these types of movies, like Die Hard, and I'm talking all originals here,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But like Die Hard, Rambo, even Lethal Weapon, really.
Yeah.
But like they just continue to do so many sequels
Yeah.
after that, where like if you just look at the originals, it's fine. But if you really focus on like all the other sequels, it can kind of tarnish it a little bit.
Well, it does for sure.
know?
Except Die Hard 3 with Samuel Jackson is amazing.
Yes.
It's one of Die Hard 2
There
is,
have been other good Rambos too. I mean, not as good as the original, but
but the newest Die Hard, it's Die Harder or something.
yeah,
I don't
like
know.
Die Hard with a Vengeance or
It's-
something.
That I don't even think that's the newest one.
No, it's not.
But they're horrible with his son and everything. They are
Yeah, they're not.
bad.
They weren't the best.
I saw one in
and
theaters.
then like, and then again, it's bigger and Good Day to Die Hard.
yeah, he's
think it was the
riding
last a jet.
yeah, he's
yeah, and I'm
like
why are we
rodeo style.
doing this? It's not even realistic. It's stupid. Like that's just
Yeah,
so
no, it's
dumb.
crazy to see how far they went from the source material.
And that's what's sad.
And
about
again,
the whole
it just becomes about money. That's the biggest thing. You know, there's no passion left in. There's no passion left in Bruce Willis doing a Die Hard. He's just cashing them checks.
And that's what sucks about it.
Yeah.
It really does.
But Die Hard 3, I would definitely recommend watch. Die Hard 2 is not very good, but Die Hard 3 with Samuel L. Jackson.
And that's the one with the blonde bad guy with the wife, the blonde wife too.
Die Hard 3?
Yeah.
I think Die Hard 3 is with
Die Hard 3's Die Hard with a Vengeance. Samuel L. Jackson's and Jeremy.
Oh yeah. That's one of the best ones. Yeah, Die Hard with
Yep.
a Vengeance. I can't remember who the bad guy was though. Oh, Jeremy Irons,
Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
another foreign bad guy. He does amazing.
That's
in it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. I recommend watching it if you haven't seen it in a while. But
yeah, I'll take a peek at it again. I mean, I might as well. Been watching Die Hards anyway, so.
I would definitely, if you haven't seen it, watch it because Samuel Jackson is amazing in it too. And their relationship, they butt heads a lot. It's a really good, and it's a young Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's a young Bruce Willis too. You know, he was young in this. But well, all right, Mason. It's a Christmas movie.
It was.
I think that's
and
the
you
last
know what?
thing.
It counts, and that's the last of the debates because we
We're
are the
closing
judge,
it.
jury,
We're
and
closing it,
executioner. Yeah,
We're closing it down.
a chapter.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anyone else bring it up. It's over.
It
We're
doesn't
done.
need to be. We
It's
had
a
final
Christmas-
say.
yeah. It goes
were the-
Rudolph, Year Without Santa Claus,
The Grinch.
The Grinch, Charlie Brown Christmas Story, and Die Hard.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Roundup.
Big five.
Yeah, big five. Okay,
That's
I'll
all you
take
need
that.
to know. Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Ask my mom. It's not a Christmas.
Well,
Ask anyone over the age of 40.
I just
They
won't
are
ask.
they're adamant that it is not. It's got more killing than most.
It does.
Although,
I'd say the
although
most killing-
Rudolph was a bloodbath.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more killing. But Christmas movie needs more killing in it.
It does. You know, I haven't seen Krampus yet, but I'm assuming that's got some.
You
killing.
haven't?
Nah.
I loved Krampus.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I just, when I heard the title, I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be cringe worthy."
No, it's with the guy it's the director Brian Dowertree who did Trick or Treat, who did the Godzilla films.
Oh, Trick or Treat was good.
Yes.
Trick or Treat was
Trick or
really
Treat
good.
was really good. Yeah, you got to watch Krampus. Krampus is good, and it didn't get bad reviews either. I think it got like a 76 or something critic.
Yeah, it was 2015, right?
Yeah, you got to watch it, man. I love
I'll
that's one
check
of my
it out.
favorite Christmas movies. I love it. It's dark too. It's pretty scary. I can't believe you.
No,
Watch it before Christmas.
It looked really just. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
good. It's got great practical effects in it. And it's got a lot of famous people. Toni Collette's in it. She's in fucking
Oh, she is. You're right.
And what's his name from Parks and Rec?
And you know what? It did not get a terrible score either. Adam Scott's in it. David, what's his name?
He's from The Office.
Howard.
He's from the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, David Koshner, right?
Yep.
Kushner, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's from The Office.
Toni Collette, yeah.
I can't believe you
Got
haven't.
a 67% on Rotten Tomato.
That's not a bad critic.
No, that's a good for critic. Yeah, especially a
for a
holiday
Christmas
movie. Yeah,
Might be the best reviewed Christmas movie since Die Hard.
absolutely. The Grinch probably got a terrible review, but I love the Grinch.
It didn't get it. I think it got a 70 something.
Yeah, 50%.
Oh, never mind. It did horrible.
The Jim
yeah.
Carrey one. Yeah,
I love that one too. I grew up on that one. People hated that film when it
I
came
loved
out.
it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites
Yeah.
of all time.
Man, I can't. I wish we could have reviewed Krampus, but watch it. Let me know what you
Well,
think.
we can always do it next year. We'll have this podcast for many years.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, Mason, that's all I got.
All right, dude. Well, that's our review of Die Hard. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. Type in Have You Seen It? Have You Seen It podcast? We're the Angry Popcorn Guy. Be sure to subscribe there. Check out our podcast on any audio format. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, whatever one I didn't say. We're on every single platform.
Did you say Spotify?
Spotify as well, which is a big one. Everyone uses Spotify nowadays for
Everyone
podcasts.
uses
So
Spotify
I
these
love
days.
it. I'm still using the Apple format. Yep,
I'm
still
all about
use that.
Spotify now. Spotify is, you can tell, putting a lot of money into their podcast.
They definitely are. Yeah.
They are.
And it's so easy to upload your podcast.
Last podcast on the left just went 100% Spotify.
No way. Did they get a deal or
They
something?
got a deal, yeah. They
Well,
signed a
that
deal with
sucks.
Yeah.
Because I've always listened to them through
Oh
Apple.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta just get a.
I'll just get Spotify. I have Spotify.
And even if you get the version that you don't have to pay for,
yeah, I get the free one.
it's not gonna do. I mean,
Ads.
it's not gonna do ads for a podcast.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
yeah, you can't, so yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, but they just went on there.
Damn.
They
Okay.
just that's a huge deal.
So yeah, you can also find our podcast on Spotify as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, hell yeah. Yeah, social media, Twitter, Seen It Podcast, Cash on Twitter, that's just Cash. Instagram, Have You Seen It? Facebook, Have You Seen It? Have You Seen It Podcast? Posting memes and all that funny shit, up to date, little video clips of the podcast. My name is Mason Knight, that is Cash Kraus, and until next time.
Adios.